That was quite a, this is quite a force to be looking at. Those are shields and fully armed.
Testing, 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 testing. I think we are back. If you can hear me, everybody say hello, hello, hello. I think we're back. I think we're back. Are we back? We are so back. They cannot stop us. Somebody was talking about George Soros and my internet died. So, that's a little bit weird. No, I'm kidding. Who knows? Where is my camera? There it is. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, my internet went out for about 3 minutes and I had to go figure it out. I fixed it. So anyway, we are back. Thank you all very much for, dealing with the technical difficulties. We're back. Thank you all very much. Thank you guys. Well, I don't think we really missed anything here. We're still going. We're back at it. Sorry about that. That really pisses me off. But hey, we're back. We are back. Okay. Thank you all very much. I'll be honest. Listen. Hey, I get a little bit paranoid. Okay, we've got 13,000 people tuning in. The internet goes out during a stream like this. Like, hey, I'm like, is somebody breaking in the house? Is somebody, cutting my internet cable? What is going on here? A little bit weird. But no, we're here because normally my internet doesn't go out. So, but no, I think everything is fine. We're back. We're good. Internet is back.
And I believe there is still...
Here we are.
There's a police presence here at the north end of Alameda and the
Who
101.
knows?
But there's not very many protesters up here.
Okay.
It looks like there's mostly just onlookers.
Yeah, we probably lost 12,000 live viewers. That sucks.
Not a very heavy police presence there.
But
like the majority,
that's life. That's the way life is.
All these police vehicles that are parked here now, these were not here originally. So it looks like LAPD came in.
That's the way that it is.
Is that LAPD? Hard to tell. LAPD or sheriff, one of the two. They came in, took over for these all these federal officers you see going.
No, I don't even think it was YouTube.
And now we have.
It was my home internet connection that crashed. I don't even think it was a YouTube problem. So we're back now. Hey, we're back now for now. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Hope so.
If anything kicks off.
It is what it is. Yep. It is what it is, dude.
So again, this is Brian Andrews in News Jobber 4 for NBC4 streaming. We're here at Temple and Alameda in on downtown LA, northeast side of downtown, by the Federal Detention Center, where skirmish lines have formed. Groups have gathered. We assume that they're here to rally against the.
We are back. Internet outage. I apologize.
Los Angeles yesterday.
So, little recap here. Standoff. I don't see any arrests being made. National Guard, where are they? Where is everybody? Where is the National Guard? We want to see arrests. What is going on? Pick up the pace.
You can see that those groups are right up next to the officers. There's even less room there than there was earlier.
Yeah, it looks like they're hanging out. They're having a party up there.
Officers, but clearly those officers don't feel like they need that group to be farther away to maintain their safety. That's good for everyone.
I feel like they need to back off a little bit. They got to give some space.
Rally is always good.
Break it up a little bit.
We saw gas, we saw pepper balls, all being used against the crowd to get them to disperse. They worked. That crowd did disperse and did move south down Alameda here to Temple and Alameda, where things have calmed down. We saw the crowd throwing fireworks at the officers, throwing their smoke and their gas back at the officers.
Here's what does seem to be the case. Definitely as the night has gone on, this entire situation has kind of de-escalated. You don't see people lighting cars on fire anymore. At least that's not what I'm seeing. You don't see buildings being lit on fire. This has devolved into kind of just like a peaceful situation. Hopefully it stays that way. So maybe actually the National Guard got called off. Maybe the National Guard is not coming out. Maybe the U.S. Marines are also not coming out. Maybe this is just, as far as the officers on the ground are concerned, maybe this is just under control. They feel like they've got a good grip on the situation, and they don't need the backup. Who knows?
And a front front skirmish line, and then another skirmish line a little bit farther back. Very normal, with extra officers behind that ready to take over in case something happens.
Yep.
This is a very normal. Same thing we saw out in Paramount.
What is going on?
We're seeing a little bit of movement now. Not sure why. They may have declared it officially
NG probably gearing up. Most of them were probably working.
Yeah, could have been the case. Yeah, totally could have been.
I copy.
Could have been the case. Could be on standby. This does seem, for the time being, very mellow.
Here it sounds like program.
Seems very mellow. Hey, Steven, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, this is Chopper.
You know, I feel like sometimes on my YouTube videos, people say, hey, is this guy an AI? Are you AI? Are you artificial intelligence? I'm a real human. I'm a real human being. So, you know, part of me is like, you know, I need to do more of these streams so people realize that I am a real person. I'm not an artificial intelligence, because I get that comment, I don't know, a couple times a week. Not too much, but still from a couple people. I am a real human. I am a real human being. I'm not artificial intelligence.
Bill, are we still streaming?
I'm real intelligence. Real low intelligence. That's the way to put it. This guy's listening to the police communications here, so I'm going to kind of listen in.
News Chopper 4 to NOC or anybody, are we still streaming?
We are still streaming, yes. Yes, we are, sir.
Are we streaming online?
Are we streaming? Ooh. Check on the grandpa guy. You think he was drunk? Well, okay, I do want to say this. You know, listen. Nobody ever tuning into any of my videos or any of my live streams, nobody ever has to feel obligated to donating. I'm fine. I'm not, you know, we're not hurting for money. I'm not struggling to pay my bills. So, hey, you never need to feel obligated to donate. Of course, I appreciate all of it very much. The super chats, I appreciate everything. But you never, sometimes I have people say, hey, I feel bad. I can't give a super chat. You never, ever need to feel that way. No. But it is appreciated. But I have seen those comments, so I think it's worth addressing a little bit.
This for me, George.
AI doesn't eat. Yeah, true. I don't need to eat food. I don't need to buy food because I'm an artificial intelligence. Yeah, true. No, my joke is if I was artificial intelligence, I would have, I'd probably be a little bit more intelligent. That's my problem. I am the world's least intelligent artificial intelligence. Really, it's astounding. Yeah.
Copy that.
So what is the plan here? What is the plan? Get my mouse out of the way. Seems like the cops are getting bored. Everybody,
this
listen.
Is all in response to ongoing federal immigration enforcement across Los Angeles County. We have.
Hold up. Is there something else going on outside the...
Updates throughout the night. We'll have much more in the NBC4 News at 11.
Hold up. What was going on over there?
Trump says he's deploying the Guard for 60 days, so it must be true that they'll be there. Trump doesn't issue empty words. Over 100K views tonight.
Yeah, we saw that the Guard is going to be in town for 60 days, but right now, I don't know where they are. So guys, this live stream we were just watching is done. They just shut it down. It's over. So we have this. This is of the same intersection here, but it's on the ground level. It's not the aerial view. Okay, we can take a look at this.
Troop transport planes appear to have redirected to Sacramento for now. There are a number of Black Hawks and Nighthawks to the south, hovering. Chinook appears to have landed and is not on radar.
Huh. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is a misread, but it seems like things are de-escalating.
It's been said for a few hours that National Guard it to arrive at midnight, Pacific. Tomorrow ICE still needs protection. Tomorrow will bring more.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe things pop off and get even crazier tomorrow. I hope not. Although, I would suspect you're right. If we have National Guard on the scene, if they're showing up at midnight, tomorrow they'll be here fully operational on the streets. Things are probably de-escalating. They are probably de-escalating. But really, the most... Oh, guys, this isn't even live. We're like... My bad. We're like 20 minutes ago. Can I reload this? Guys, I think all of these news channels are pretty much wrapping it up. Oh, actually, they just put a message here. We will return to the scene shortly, momentarily. Okay, so maybe they're going to come back here pretty soon. Let's talk about long-term implications or long-term consequences of what's happening tonight. There's an airplane flying off, lifting off from the LAX, probably. Anyway, we can already tell right now that the Trump administration is trying to push the insurrection narrative. They want to frame this, and by the way, it is. I think it is. So it's not some artificial framing, but the point is the Trump administration wants everybody to acknowledge this is a component or a part of, or just an outright insurrection. What's going on here? Sanctuary states, sanctuary cities, mayors like Mayor Bass, governors like Gavin Newsom, they are facilitating, aiding, and abetting all of these violent illegal aliens. This is an insurrection. They are operating in direct defiance of the federal government and all of our federal immigration laws. They are choosing not to enforce them and not to cooperate with federal immigration officers. You said ABC 7 is live, ABC 7. And so yeah, they are very clearly trying to push the insurrection narrative here. Okay, here we have another live feed. Okay, good. Okay, we can play this. There's no audio on this one though, but we can take a look at this. Okay, and so long term, what does President Trump want to do? I'm going to actually pull this up on Grok here. Details. Because I want to have a better grip on this here. Give me one moment here, folks. So if President Trump tries to invoke the insurrection clause, which is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, I think probably the long-term goal here is to kick these Democratic politicians out of office. Because if you can make a compelling argument that Mayor Bass, Governor Gavin Newsom, House Minority Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, Mayor Michelle Wu of Boston, all of these radical progressive Democrats that are fomenting this insurrection, then you have grounds to kick them out of office. So maybe that is the long-term goal here. We got to see. I don't know. We got to see. And by the way, hold up. Where is that coming from? Okay. By the way, this is the Democrats' exact strategy that they tried to use against President Trump for the last 4 years after the events of January 6th. After January 6th, did you ever wonder why all of the Democrats, all of the left-wing media for years pushed the narrative Donald Trump insurrection, Donald Trump, insurrection, Donald Trump, insurrection. They were all in lockstep, okay? Lock, stock, barrel, they were completely, totally in unison, Donald Trump insurrection. The reason why, as we now know, is because they wanted to legally characterize Donald Trump as a terminological insurrectionist so that they could prohibit him from holding elected U.S. office going forward. Because Section 3 of the 14th Amendment says if you're an insurrectionist, terminologically, you can't hold public office.
History and law are not on Dems' side. Their sanctuary jurisdiction arguments are the same used to support slavery and the Confederacy.
I'm sorry, something crazy has happened. Everybody, pay attention here. Hold up. things are maybe happening here. What is going on? You're right, though. Yeah, very true, Michael. No, this is live. In fact, I checked the other feed. So now they are trying to kind of box off the intersection here. They're locking everything down. They're pushing out. They're taking more territory. Okay. But anyway, so back to the insurrection thing. I want to wrap up that thought real quick with you guys. Is that we know for a fact that this was the plan of the Democrats to paint Donald Trump as an insurrectionist to prevent him from running for election again. Because very early on in 2024 in the Republican primary, Colorado, they actually tried to kick Donald Trump off of the Colorado Republican primary ballot under the notion that he is a what? An insurrectionist in accordance with Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. Now, the Colorado Supreme Court weighed in on this, and they said, yeah, he's an insurrectionist, you can do this. Well, this got escalated to the U.S. Supreme Court, and the U.S. Supreme Court ruled back and said, hey, in a 9-0 decision, bullshit, you can't do this. No, you're not going to kick him off the ballot in a stunning 9-0, 9-0 federal Supreme Court ruling. And so the Supreme Court actually totally shot down the Democrats' entire insurrection narrative. And you might notice the second that 9-0 Supreme Court ruling came down out of the Supreme Court, the Democrats never talked about insurrection ever again. They totally gave up on the narrative. And the reason why is because their plan failed. The plan got shot down by the Supreme Court. And so they had no reason to talk about the insurrection thing ever again because their plan just got blown up. We are making arrests here, ladies and gentlemen. Seems to be the case. Seems like that is what is happening here. However, time will tell. We got to see what's going on here. My feed is kind of going bonkers here. We got one there. Okay, our helicopter is flying away. Man, right when things get interesting, the helicopter has to leave. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, what is going on? Arrest them,
There's a
yes.
what on the wall? Oh, they're climbing the wall. Okay.
They're climbing the wall. They've made over 100 arrests. I'm gonna. Hello? Well, our feed is having some difficulties here. All right, that feed went down. Okay. Hold up, we have some breaking news here, folks. This is happening elsewhere in Los Angeles, nearby. This, I think, is actually down by that donut shop. I'm gonna be honest, man, like this, to me, this isn't even entertaining. This isn't cool. This isn't awesome to look at. This actually genuinely depresses me as an American. We have so many violent, illegal alien invaders. They're rioting in the streets. They're lighting cars on fire. They're assaulting police officers. They're lighting buildings on fire. This, in a way, like, I don't want to sound, overly emotional, but this bothers me. This really bothers me that this is where we are right now. This is terrible. It's sad. It is sad. It is very sad that this is where we are. Yeah.
When you called for UPS about Trump's popularity, there were so many apps you went off the air for 8 minutes for me.
When you called for UPS about Trump's popularity, there were so many apps you went off the air for. I don't remember what that was. But hey, I'm happy, I guess. Maybe. I appreciate that. Are you talking about when I got disconnected earlier or what? I'm a little bit confused, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I'm going to put this on full screen here.
Leslie's correct.
What is going on? Alameda Street. Yeah, no, man. Los Angeles is a failed city. And it didn't have to be this way. Just, I don't know what, 30 years ago, maybe 25 years ago, Los Angeles, California was awesome. It was awesome. One of the best states in the country. One of the best cities in the country. It did not have to be this way. Hey, yo, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You know, while nothing here is kind of happening, I'm going to tell you guys kind of a funny story. I need to pull up an article, though. One moment here. This is one of my 3 funny stories I'm going to share with you guys. Okay. So, like I've said, I am from the Portland, Oregon area. I went to high school in the Portland, Oregon suburbs. As you know, Portland, Oregon is maybe the epicenter of radical progressive ideology. It's like a top 3 progressive city, maybe top number 1 in the country. There was a girl in high school. We were like 16. I almost dated her, but I didn't end up dating. It was like kind of decided not to do it. Okay, so kind of flirted a little bit when I was 16. Didn't end up dating. Well, like maybe 7 years later, 6 years later, something like that, I'm reading through the news. Guess what? This girl, who I almost dated in high school, she ended up joining Antifa, and during the summer, the Portland Summer of Love riots, this is her actually lighting a cop car on fire. Now she is a convicted domestic terrorist serving a prison sentence in a federal prison. I almost dated this girl in high school. And then 6 or 7 years later, after I never talked to her again, she joined Antifa. So this is one of my funny stories. This is just what it's like to go to high school in the Portland area. Some of your classmates become domestic terrorists. That's the story. This is her. Like they got her on video. They've got photos, all of it. She was blowing up cop cars in downtown Portland. Dodged the bullet. Yeah, dodged the bullet. Yeah, exactly. To say the least. Dodged a domestic terrorist, to say the least. What is going on? There we go. Yeah. That was a close one. And now I'm happily married and everything is fine. I made the right decision. I don't know. I kind of feel bad. It's like, man, how easily you can screw up your entire life. Just a couple bad decisions and your entire life is screwed over. What the heck, Matt? Save her from herself. Okay, listen, hey.
Is it just me, or does this seem like the Confederate States are trying for a second round, like they never actually got defeated in the last Civil War?
Well, instead of the Confederate States, now it's the radically progressive states. Take 2, but like kind of different a little bit. Weird. I don't know. Who knows? I don't think we're gonna have a civil war. I don't think things are going to escalate in that way. I don't think so. Still, though, very concerning. Very concerning. Thank you, by the way. You know, I was gonna say, listen, hey, it's not my job.
Yes,
It's not my job to save every woman on the planet from becoming an Antifa domestic terrorist. That's not my job, okay? Some police are coming in. It's not my responsibility to save every woman in the world from becoming a domestic terrorist. That's on them. I have no responsibility for that. This is live. Okay, this is still live here. Another arrest is being
Matt,
made. Good.
See, God was protecting you by not letting you date that Antifa terrorist.
Yeah.
We want you to come to Christ.
There you go. Yeah, he was saving me.
I have
That's a good
Kirsch's
way to
stream
look
up
at
that's showing different POVs with a little bit of her comedy. But I agree this entire situation is indeed sad.
It is sad. It is sad. Hold up. Kirsha is the conservative VTuber, right? I learned about that person about a month ago when they were getting banned on Twitch, when they had some drama on Twitch. I remember that name, the VTuber. What a weird thing. Today we have conservative VTubers. I never would have guessed
Put
that
a
was a
Democrat
thing.
in control and watch things get out of control.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, it's not a coincidence that quite literally every single Democrat-run state or city or town is a shit heap. Like, is that? That's kind of weird. That's a little bit weird. That every single thing that Democrats touch just becomes terrible. That's a little bit weird. Terrible. Well, I'm going to take a look at another. I'm going to look for another live feed here. Acid,
I'm starting
thank you.
to think that we should give California to Mexico and New York to Canada so we don't have to screw around with them no more. Just build some new walls.
Never give an inch. No, never give an inch. Because you know what happens if you give Mexico California? Then they want Arizona. Then they want New Mexico. Then they want Southern Oregon. Then they want Washington. Then they want Utah. Then they want Idaho. If you give them an inch, it's never going to be enough. It is never enough. You have to, the only way to combat this, you have to put your foot down and say no. You have to match this with authority, with equal veracity. You have to say no. We are not tolerating this. We're not giving an inch. We're not ceding any ground. We're not going to give you anything. This is ours. That is yours. Don't come over here illegally. That's what you have to say. That's what you have to say. That's what you have to say. So we are making a couple arrests here. We are. Things are slowly happening. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here is what I have to say, though. It is 10 p.m. and I'm getting old. I'm 31. My old body is giving out on me. I have 2 kids. I have a wife who is an immigrant from Germany. And I think I'm at the point where maybe I have to tap out. It's been a long day and I'm getting old.
I was just joking. My friend wears the dog.
Okay, you know what? Before I go, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to wrap it up here, but I will bring the dog in. How about that? On the way out, I will bring the dog. So let me go find where she is. I'm 41. I'm 31. I'm 31, but let me go find my dog. You guys can say hi to the dog, and then I am going to wrap it up. One moment, though.
Someone is making serious bank on selling kefaya. Looks like every 20-something radical has one. People who seek power are drawn to weak minds. This is what we get because PPL don't think. The youth is told what to think.
There you go. There you go. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here is what I will do. Here's what I'll do. So I am going to wrap it up because I'm getting too old. I can't stay up past 10. It's past my bedtime. So if you folks want to keep on watching the broadcast, I'm gonna link this in the chat so you can watch it on your own. So if you're really into this, there is a live link in the chat.
I'm 63 and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I don't care how long you go, I would still keep watching you, old man.
Well, listen, my mom texted me and she said, "Hey, it's past your bedtime," and I can't. I have my bedtime, you know? So, no, thank you though. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. Today, it's been a phenomenal show. So thank all of you very much. The live streams have been going so well lately. the videos, everything, the support. We just hit 500,000 subscribers. There's been just an overwhelming amount of support, the super chats, everything. Thank you guys so much. Follow, subscribe, join, follow on Twitter. Go follow on Twitter. Really, you should do that. Thank you guys. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am out of here. I'll have a video up on YouTube tomorrow for you guys about something. I'm not even sure what. And have a great night and have a good Sunday. Have a good Sunday tomorrow. And I am out of here. So thank you guys.